Awesome. Let's get started. I have put the session on record. Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon to everybody joining in. Thank you for joining in this session. As you can see, the name of the session is Unlock Your Retention Career. I think having built the retention DNA community, also by the way, 2 years, I come 2 years at Web Engage and 2 years building this community, which is Retention DNA. And yeah, I think across these 2 years, one thing that has been consistent is the hiring and the job board. And continuously, we've interacted with community people who talk to us about, finding certain kind of roles, finding ways to expand their portfolio, figuring out what kind of jobs are actually available. Last time around this, last year around this time, we also hosted and conducted a survey and we did a report on retention marketing careers, and we had a bunch of learnings as to what kind of skills, what kind of experience are people looking, how does hiring in this space generally go around. And some of our key learnings was in the space of, if done right, retention is a great pathway to becoming business leaders. And across the board, people are searching for good retention talent. I keep posting. We do a lot of work with organizations and universities now. And I keep talking how the next 10,000 brands that will be made in India, a lot of them need this career pool and need this talent pool to do well. Thanks, Hardik. Thanks for acknowledging that. We also did something with Altera, and now we're also about to release a competition for this larger community. So, yeah, we very strongly believe that this community needs to be well equipped and given the right direction, and hence there's a lot of career growth awaiting you. And while Saurabh will be talking more on this, we will hear from him as to, he's built a career in this, he's been to a lot of great places, and he now runs his own company. Saurabh, I'd love to invite you on the virtual stage and join us. Thank you so much for doing this with us. And Saurabh himself said, that so we had a one-on-one the other day, and he mentioned that, I think from what I'm seeing in the group, people could use a session like this, and clearly it shows. So thank you for volunteering for that, Saurabh, and thank you for making time and putting this deck together. Would love for you to introduce yourself to everybody here.
Yeah. So let me just stop share first so that there is focus on me.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Harshit. I have been part of the community for some time now and enjoyed the chat which has been going back and forth with the hundreds of community members. And I see very interesting stuff happening on the community. So, and I have been in this space for retention marketing. I started my career in analytics, but ended up in retention marketing, then customer analytics, then back to retention marketing, then into analytics, then back to retention marketing. So I've seen this grow over 2 decades. So I have my own learnings. Things have become much more simpler. So, and I have also hired more than 100 plus people with different companies on this and seen and spoken on mentored many people, some of them in the group also. So I thought it'll be good to put all of this together and make it beneficial for everyone. I know people talk about career, they don't talk about retention in career and retention of retention people in career. So, so that's the whole objective for today's session. I have been thinking on this topic for almost 3, 4 months now and put this deck in the last 2 weeks. So looking forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think yesterday when we did a dry run and I got to see a glimpse of it, I am very excited to, go through the entire drill. So without further ado, we will get into the session. And Saurabh has a bunch of questions planned for you as we go along so that the learning is contextual. But that said, you can always drop your questions in the Q&A and we'll address them at the start, sorry, at the end of the webinar. And if it feels like at some point it is addressable at that very moment, so we'll do that as well. So yeah, there is a Q&A at the bottom. Feel free to drop your questions, and yeah, let's keep it interactive. Let's get started. Thank you so much. Over to you, Saurabh.
Sure. So I'll want to start with a question, okay, as Harshit said, and I'll not use any poll. I will ask you to put your answers in the chat. Okay. Is my screen visible to you guys?
'Yes'. 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 'Yes
My first question to you is, do you know how much money is spent in digital marketing today worldwide? Any guesses? Guys, don't end up Googling, okay? Just try it. $1 trillion. Acha B, yeah. So mostly people are saying C. So yeah, the answer is right. It's around $1 trillion of money spent in digital marketing. And if you look at the global money spent in marketing, it's about $1.3 trillion. And out of that, $1 trillion is in digital, which is a very good news for us. Almost 70% of money spent in digital marketing, of which some portion goes to retention marketing. So, can you guys guess how much it goes in retention marketing out of this $1 trillion? Just put a guess in the percentage. 10%, 20%, 40%, 20%. Shantanu says 35%, yeah. So the unfortunate or fortunate thing is it is about less than 10% of digital marketing spend goes into retention marketing, which is good and bad both. Good because it is one of the most efficient forms of digital marketing, but bad because it is not seeing the pie. More money is spent in the marketing tools and in the talent. You don't end up paying anyone too much. You pay, say, a little bit onto the WhatsApp or SMS or email. So most of the channels are very cheap, but the ROI next to the other channels is almost 5 to 10x, which makes it very attractive. Now, if you look at the number one goal of any marketing is to drive business growth, okay? And in the world of digital marketing, out of this 700 billion, which is in $1 trillion, almost 500, 600 billion is commanded by Meta and Google. And it's heavily concentrated, okay? It's heavily concentrated to performance marketing. 70, 80% of money is spent in performance marketing, then in affiliate, and then whatever is little left, it's thrown into retention marketing. And so it's not a bad thing that we are spending less money, because more spending more money is not a great thing. You're under the fire. I joke with a lot of my friends, who are switching careers. The lifetime, the average time spent in a marketing job today is reducing a lot, okay? And the highest pressure job is performance marketing. Okay, because they are controlling 70% of the marketing spend, and everyone is giving them suggestions. Ye reel chala do, wo chala do, this run this ad, run that campaign. And at the end, if they will do what the founder is saying, the CMO is saying, and at the end, if the numbers are not met, they get under the bus. Okay, so it's good that you're not spending more money, you're being efficient. But the unfortunate thing is it cannot scale beyond a point. Okay, if you have say 10 lakh customers, you cannot send more than 10 lakh SMS or WhatsApp. So you are limited by the database you have. But what's happening is, the value which a retention marketer to me adds is immense. Okay, but the value realized is not that much. Okay, because nobody teaches retention marketing. You will see courses running on performance marketing. There are courses running on SEO for donkey ages, email marketing little bit. So there is very less formal education on retention marketing available, while it is the oldest form of uh, marketing channel. Now, what's the other thing which is happening is, the role of CMO is changing. Traditional marketers used to be brand marketers. Pura summers are there now. Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Akshay Kumar will jump from a helicopter, go into some ice skating, and then the Coke ad is done. Uska 5-6 versions hoga, 5 seconder, 30 seconder, 20 seconder, 15 seconder, run it and you're done. But today, what's happening is because of digital, there's a lot of data available. You're responsible for the company's growth. Now what it is ending up in the lifetime, the many of the CMO jobs are vacant because the CMOs are not able to figure out, are they brand marketing, are they performance marketing, are they retention marketing. And this is an article which came in Ken early this year, that huge amount of roles are empty. Okay, and I see CMOs are like getting fired left, right, and center. The growth marketing role and the brand marketing role may be the two roles which are, so there is either a content marketer or a performance or a growth marketer. Those are the two roles getting created. So just by running an ad, running a newspaper clipping or a TV ad and then getting an award for the best creative is no more luxury. You have to show what's the bottom line, the top line impact, or the number of customers you are getting in and the quality of customers you're getting in. So Gary is one person I read a lot. He's very vocal. He uses a lot of abusive language also, but he puts across his point very strongly that retention is the game. The game in the business is not how many customers can you get, but how many customers you can keep. And keeping that customers is all about the CRM or the retention marketing we all are part of. So what we will cover today is basic three things. Okay. And this is what I would want you to take back from the session: why retention marketing is gaining importance and how it is evolving over a period of time. We will talk about a career framework approach to look at retention marketing, or it can be applied to anything at the end. And then what are the career mistakes to avoid? This is a section I love. I wanted to put in 10, but I ended up putting 13, 14 mistakes, but we'll try to focus on the most important ones. Are you good to go, guys? So if you're still with me, put in 3.68 in the chat. Hello, great. People are listening. They are not busy eating their parathas. Huh? So why me? Okay. So I actually started my career in tech back in Y2K. Okay. I ended up in a company doing backend database work, doing as a data engineer. But then I got a very interesting career opportunity with Amex, where they were setting up their GCC back in 2003 to do customer marketing. Okay, that time we used to use a tool called Unica, which was like a very raw version of what you see a web engage of that time, which you get. It's like almost like a SQL builder and you run a campaign. So I started doing campaign management for a financial services company. For my love of the data, I went into customer analytics. Then I went about building a tool like Web Engage for American Express, and I went back and forth into customer analytics, customer marketing, and customer data platforms. I got bored because my next set of career was to go US, and I said, "Yeah, India mein itna data hai, I don't want to go to US." So then that's when Tata Group happened, and Tata Group was setting up an analytics company for the group, which was called Tata Insights and Quants. I was the second person to join, and the charter for that company was that they wanted to build a centralized analytics company so that they can do customer data sharing across the brands. And we ended up designing the Tata Neo program, which is one of the world's largest loyalty program, coalition loyalty program to drive it. So that is where I learned a lot of my digital marketing. And then I said, lot of marketing ho gaya. I went to a company called Motherson Sumi doing manufacturing analytics. And then Lenskart happened. 3 years I was there with Lenskart. I learned a lot of omni-channel marketing and all. And I was the CMO for a few months also there. And I applied my marketing analytics and everything. And I experienced driving growth firsthand. Then I thought, why not work with multiple brands? So over the last 1.5 years, I started Diome, which is like a marketing analytics consulting firm to drive growth. So work with brands like Sleep Company, Jiva, Urban Monkey, Gupshup, Lifestyle, Dr. Reddy's, Reddington. So B2B, B2C, kind of different. If you ask me any use case, I'll be happy to help you how it goes. So why me? Maybe basically, I have seen it little bit all and interacted with many of you. And my intent is to establish more relationships with people like you so that I can learn the industry and how it is evolving. So that was a lot of blabber about me. Can you identify what logo is this? Before we go on to the question, this logo which is there on the right. This is a brand logo. I have removed the brand name. Okay. This red and yellow circle. ठीक है, washing powder का है. I'll give you this hint. Yes. Yeah, this is Tide. So think about some brands, you really admire for their retention marketing. So like in this logo, see if it was US, people would have straight away got it. In India, Surf Excel is more known than Tide. So just by the feel of the brand colors, one can identify the logo. So some of the market retention marketing companies which you love for the retention marketing, put in the names of the brands you like. Duolingo, amazing, Zomato. You guys can write your own company also if you like what you're doing. Akhil likes web engage. Ah, Shantanu Saha likes Bombay Shaving Company. Shantanu, you're the Bombay Shaving Company Shantanu or Shantanu Deshpande तो नहीं हो? चलो, great यार. So yeah, some of these brands I also love. Uh, my favorite definitely. I would not rate Zomato to be great at retention marketing, but I think so. They use copywriting as their key skill. They don't have great retention marketing, but the way they write copy, they have great customer retention. So from a tech perspective, they are just doing mass blast of similar thing and little bit of personalization, but they use the skill of copywriting to really make a great impact. So when we did the survey, a lot of people asked that we want to do this, we want to do that. So I will not be teaching retention marketing in this session. Okay, I'm assuming you guys know your job well. Okay, so I'll not talk about what's next beyond push notification. I'll not talk about what's the right problem to solve. I'll not cover any case studies. Okay, अगर वो करना है तो that's a separate session. We'll focus on thinking about how do you create your career in retention marketing. How should you look at retention marketing? Like, is it a lifetime career or is it a limited career? Okay, how do how do I find the next best job in it? I am bored by just doing food delivery wala retention marketing. What are the other avenues I can look at? So I will cover all things about career. I'll not talk about retention marketing as a subject. Okay, I hope that's okay. So the first thing, we all use this word called CRM a lot, right? So what do you think CRM stands for? CRM. Hmm? I'm sure everyone must be writing this word CRM in their CVs. You just need to put the abbreviation का full form क्या है CRM का. Creating real magic. क्या बात. I love it. Yeah. So there are these two definitions, as many of you are saying. CRM has two definitions: customer retention marketing and customer relationship management. So one thing which I will always say is understand the difference. Okay. When you say कि I am a CRM expert, a lot of customer relationship management is a much more broader subject. It goes an entire customer lifecycle management, which includes customer service, surveys, automation, call center, pre-post, and retention marketing can also be a subset of relationship management, but it's a much more broader topic. What community I think so we have built is a retention marketing piece, which is not the relationship management. So whenever you project yourself as a CRM person, na, many people, so if you look at people beyond this group, most of the people will say customer relationship management. So if you say मैं CRM expert हूँ, तो आपका CV will get shortlisted into some call center thing also. So make sure that one piece I would say is be very clear in that I am a retention marketing or a marketing aspect of this person, not a relationship management thing. Yes, you can expand your career from retention marketing to relationship management as well. Okay. Now, when you look at retention marketing, who all needs retention marketing? At the end, everyone needs retention marketing. But the way I look at is, or the way the roles are, there are companies who are B2B and there are companies who are B2C. Okay. Now, B2B companies, the B2C companies are very simple. We talked about Swiggy, Zomato, Lifestyle, Shopper Stop, uh, credit card companies, all are B2C companies. Okay. B2B companies could be, say, a web engage contacting Zomato to try web engage. That is a B2B flow. Okay. Any tool, say Canva selling their licenses to companies to go and try. Adobe selling their licenses to companies to try. That is also a very big retention marketing play. The sophistication is higher in B2C, but in B2B, what happens is the depth is high, the value of a customer is much higher. Okay. The average order value in any retail or in any B2C company would be about anywhere about 50 to $100 or $200 or $500. If you are say mattress company, ठीक है 25-30 हजार रुपए हो जाएगा. Or you are selling cell phones, you might be $1,000. But a B2B company might start from $1,000, and it can go anywhere, whether when you go to high ticket. So you can expand your vision not only from मतलब many most of the people think कि यार e-commerce is my space. You can expand your horizon ki, am I a B2B specialist in retention marketing or B2C specialist? Okay. The next is, are you working in a small firm or a big firm? That is another way to look at it. Where am I there? Okay, so small firms could be a small startup who just started, like OTP. I'm not sure if you have seen, there is a food or a handpicked for vegetable delivery app. These are recently launched. तो उनका retention marketing team बहुत छोटा होगा. You might be the single person who's doing performance marketing and retention marketing also. Okay. And then there are brand and agency. So brand is again, you are in Zomato, or say you are in a company like mine who is a consulting company who works with multiple brands. There are advantages and disadvantages at every nook and corner. So one could say I am working in the B2C space, sitting in an agency, working for big firms. Okay. So can you guys put in what do you think you are at which juncture of it? Just pick up. So you so Deepan, you have to pick up B2C small and brand like that. Yeah, B2C big. Okay, great. Now, the reason I'm telling you this to look at it, because as soon as you start looking at it, your horizons expand. So a lot of times people think, yeah, I'm bored doing this. So if you want to, you can switch from a B2B to B2C. You can switch from a brand to an agency. You can switch from a small to a big. Okay. I'll tell you one biggest advantage and disadvantage of a small and big company. Okay. So when I was at Amex, okay, which is a big company, okay, multiple markets. So they will say, okay, so they used to have 100-member retention marketing execution team. तो उसमें क्या होगा, एक बंदा होगा क्रॉस सेल एक्विजिशन ईमेल चैनल फॉर गोल्ड कार्ड. ठीक है. नाउ इफ यू, there's nothing bad in it. Okay. The other, in a in a small company, what will be, you will be the whole marketing manager for everything. आपको मार्केटिंग भी करना है, आपको ईमेल भी करना है, आपको व्हाट्सएप भी करना है, आपको कॉपी राइटिंग भी करना है. यू आर अ जैक ऑफ ऑल. सो इफ यू वांट टू बी अ सुपर स्पेशलिस्ट, गो इनटू अ बिग कंपनी. जॉब भी सेफ रहेगा, बट यू विल बी अ स्मॉल फिश इन अ बिग पॉन्ड. ओके. But I would say, and if you are in a small company, you will experience everything. Okay. And that is where magic lies. So at different points in your career, I would say try these all juncture, and this will help. So let's get into how I saw retention marketing evolve over the years. Okay. And it will still evolve. Okay. I started retention marketing execution back into 20, like 2005. I'm not sure if there might be somebody in the group who would say मैं तो तब पैदा ही हुआ था. So that time, there were only two channels. One was direct mail, वो जो post में आता है ना, so we used to execute campaigns to send them credit card offers and stuff. So direct mail में जाता था या calling होता था, outbound calling. Now today, if we see, the number of channels have expanded: email, SMS, RCS, push notification, in-app notification, and I don't know, donkey number of more channels are there. Okay, so the number of channels have expanded a lot, which is one big change which has happened over a period of time. The second is, even though the number of channels were lesser that time, the time to execute one campaign used to be almost 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, we used to strategize the campaign. We used to think about the creative. वो creative कोई बना के देगा, फिर वो print के लिए जाएगा. We used to cut the list manually. It used to take about 3 to 4 days to cut the list. Then somebody will validate. Then all the things will be put together, and then the campaign will go for a board approval. फिर वो execute होगा. But today, like, tell me how fast you have been able to execute a campaign from idea to execution in today's framework. What's the fastest you have done कि किसी के दिमाग में idea आया और execute कर दिया? 2 hours, yeah, 15 minutes. So that is the speed. Today, if you know what you need to do in the campaign, the tools and techniques and everything is so much good today that it executes faster. So there is a huge efficiency play which has come in. Okay. And this will get even better tomorrow. Okay. The third thing is that time the number of customer data point was very less. Okay, very less. Just we need we मतलब in fact people who used to buy the products उनका भी data नहीं होता था properly for retailers. Okay, if you think about the origin of loyalty programs happened because they wanted to know who the customer is. So that's why loyalty programs were created. कि we will give them incentive तो शायद वो अपना phone number, email ID they will give it to us. So now the data is so much that somebody has downloaded the app, he's browsing, I know he's scrolling, he's doing right, left, he's coming from this UTM source, he's going there, this is the phone model, this is the make he's using. So we have hundreds and thousands of data points to do cross personalization. So the data points are huge, so we can personalize at a very different level. And this is where it'll also go much, much, much deeper. The bad thing which is we are bombarded with so many communications. Earlier on an average we used to communicate only 2 to 3 times in a month. Now every day people are sending 3 push notification to this thing, one in app, some SMS, WhatsApp. So in a month at least 30 to 40 comms are touching the customer, and the attention span is also very short. People will send a push notification or swipe out हो जाएगा. Other, well, one is 90% push notifications will never get delivered. So attention span is getting shorter and that will get even shorter. Okay. The next is loyalty programs are evolving. Okay. Can you guess anyone which was the first ever loyalty program which was created? Put it in the chat. Worldwide कह रहा हूँ मैं Aditi. First Citizen definitely was one of the first ones in India. Okay, let me give you a guess. Okay, it was not. It was even before I was born. ठीक है. So the first loyalty program was Diner's Card. Okay. So if you heard about Diners, जो HDFC का Diner card आता है ना, तो Diners card was the first loyalty program which was created, and it was created to give them dining experience to privileged hotels and give them some cashback and all. So that was the first card which was there, like a loyalty card, which is something like you can say Taj ka Epicure membership you might have heard. Okay, so that is one of the loyalty programs which was created. The good part in financial services is though they know the customer. Okay, now what has happened over a period of time is in offline retail, Shopper Stop, everyone created these programs because they wanted people to come back and they wanted to know who's the person buying. Now today, does a company need a loyalty program is a big question. Okay, because first point system came in, then cashback came in. When cashback came in, the point system really got wiped out. Why it got wiped out? Because cash point system used to give a cashback of hardly 1% or 0.5%. Okay, but cashback starts at 4%, 5%, 10%, and then coupons. So when phone number identification, especially mobile number came in, the need for a proper loyalty program get got wiped out. Okay, then they said okay, cashback and this came. So today, complex hybrid programs are very well known. Tell me which is the loyalty program you really love and you want to carry with yourself and you have earned some interesting gifts and cashbacks or stuff. Put it in the chat. MMT, Domino's ka free pizza, amazing. Chayos. which has been your most good experience? और वो लॉयल्टी प्रोग्राम बंद हो गया, and it has Vistara. So I used to love Vistara. मतलब I had almost two credit cards of Vistara. One is with Axis and one is with SBI, and I get almost 3 to 4 business class tickets free for about 7-8 lakhs ka month annual spend. So what it does is, you get cashback and then you get experiential thing. एक business class voucher मिल गया and you are able to fly business class. It's an amazing experience. बट कहते हैं ना, वो जैसे क्रेड, आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट बी यूजिंग इट, 2 रुपए के कैशबैक से इतना डोपामिन इफेक्ट आता है जो हमारी लाखों की सैलरी आती है उससे नहीं आता. So that is the thing cashback does, but it does not create long term impact or long term memory. So what I say is, the whole ecosystem of loyalty programs is evolving. If you see Zepto, they give that Zepto pass. I think so. It's an eye wash. वो 3 रुपए, 9 रुपए, 7 रुपए. It gives for different numbers, and I don't know what value does it add. I think so. It increases the cost of the vegetables when you buy. So my thing is, loyalty programs will in its essence evolve. And from individual loyalty programs, small brands having a loyalty program does not really add value because most of the brands are infrequent purchases. Lenskart used to have a very good loyalty program called Lenskart Gold, but it gives one buy one get one free, and more 90% plus people use it. So again, is it a really a loyalty program or it's a feature that आप Lenskart में जाओगे buy one get one मिलेगा? So this is another area which is as a strategy to drive customer engagement is evolving. And in fact, the entire world of retention marketing started with loyalty program management and campaign management. उससे retention marketing बना. Shopper Stop, Lifestyle, Big Bazaar had big teams earlier, or retail में काफी था, and then it started increasing. So why am I sharing these trends? Okay, these trends are important to learn why what will happen in future. Okay, and as Neil Patel says, it costs 7 times more to attract a new customer than to retain one. So there are different techniques which you all have learned to do it, and we will master it over a period of time. Should Netflix come as a loyalty program? I would not say Netflix is a loyalty program. It's a subscription program. Okay, you don't get Netflix for free. Okay, but it is kind of it's a digital product which we all are using. Okay, any OTT subscription, say a Canva subscription is this, but there is a lot of retention in it because you have to keep upgrading the either you have to upgrade or you have to watch, and content plays that role. So what I would say is, in case of digital products, the whole retention game is a little different, but it's a very interesting one. So that was a little bit about how retention marketing is evolving, and hopefully you got some glimpse of it. We can have detailed talks about it, but the way I look at retention marketing or any career framework is into three things: hard skills, soft skills, and decisions. So what type of skills we acquire and learn over a period of time, and then what are the decisions we make? Can you guys put in the chat what do you think are some hard skills which we acquire to be a good at retention marketing? So you're saying tools, retention, data analytics, campaign measurement, business acumen, yeah, matrix, yeah. Raja says deep understanding of CRM tools, yeah. So the way I put is, retention marketing at core, it's all about executing a campaign, which is the third point. People start mostly there, that they will be given a campaign brief setup. Jao web engage pe jao, any of those tools, go set up the campaign and run it. Okay, jao, hit the run button, execute button, configure the campaign and run it. So it starts at the core with the execution skill. At the beginning, it starts defining the campaign strategy, who's the target audience, goal, measuring it, budget, channel. Then it gets into copywriting. What do you send to the customer? Executing the campaign and looking at post campaign performance analysis. Now, on these different things, you could be a beginner, intermediate, or an expert. Okay. But most people think retention marketing person is an execution person, and they forget that there is something above it and there is something below it. But at the core, it's only about execution. So when you are at the bottom of the pyramid, or you're the analyst, retention marketing analyst, or the manager, तो आप execution कर रहे हो. फिर धीरे धीरे as you get into this, you become a manager, leader, and on it. The other thing is the broad digital marketing. Yes, retention marketing is one of the skill, but you might have other skills also. That you are an SEO expert, you are a social media marketing expert, you are an affiliate marketing expert, you are a performance marketing, you are a branding expert. So the hardcore skill of general marketing is where it expands from just being a retention marketing person. And then the third area is martech. Okay, retention marketing is as good as the martech you're using. It could be in the CRM, WhatsApp automation, social media management, analytics, visualization, attribution, SEO. बहुत सारा tools हैं. So what are the tools you are good at? Bhumika is asking, do we need to know all the skill? You need to know the skill to do your job. Okay. To excel in your job, to expand your job, you have to acquire some of these things. Left, right, and center. आप हो सकता है ऊपर जाओगे नीचे जाओगे, so you can, I'm just giving a framework to expand left, right, and center where you can do. And people say if you are in retention marketing execution, you can say, okay, I have learned campaign strategy, I have learned, I don't want to do copywriting because मुझसे वो copywriting is more left brain, I am more right brain, I want to be more analytical. So ठीक है, analytics में जाओ आप. Okay, so that is how you can expand left and right. You cannot be an expert in, some people can be an expert in all, but try to be, map yourself, where are you, and pick up one area you want to be an expert in. So you can say, I'm sure everyone is execution expert. You can say, I'm not good at copywriting. Are you interested to be better at copywriting? And today the good part is, with AI you can be much better at copywriting. Copywriting is not the copywriter skill only. Okay. Or you want to be better at analytics. So which of these things which you picked up do you think you are very good at today? Put it in the chat, please. So my reason to ask you to try it in the chat is because I want you to think as we do the session, and it also gives me a breathing space, but it'll also push you to think what is that you are doing and what you want to expand at. Okay, great. So some of the retention marketing people are a little bit techies also, and that's where this whole martech comes in. Because as I said, when I was doing execution, it used to take 1 month, and we were busy, happy कि यार इस महीने हमने 3 campaign कर लिए. But what is happening is, now that 100-member team who used to do is becoming a 15-member team to do it for the entire company. So the number of roles are reducing. Okay, so people have to take up more because things are becoming faster and cheaper to do. So acquiring multiple skills is a necessity also to keep oneself relevant. That's why I keep stressing on automation aa raha hai. You have to pick up more skills to do it. Now, I come from a lot of analytics background, and I think so marketing analytics is very, very key at the core to know all of this. So any person becoming, thinking of 4 to 5 year career minimum in marketing analytics, or in retention marketing, should seriously consider learning marketing analytics. And many people think marketing analytics is knowing the reports coming in, web engage, or thoda sa GA. It has lot of components. You need to know attribution, you need to know campaign channel performance, you need to know martech tools, you need to know cohorts, you need to know CAC, LTV. There's lot you can learn in the field of marketing analytics, especially because communicating impact of your work is key. Okay. People actually, the management does not expect the retention marketing guy to communicate impact. They expect the performance marketing guy to communicate impact because they are spending a lot of money of the company. 90% money unka hai, to unpe spotlight hai. But if you are able to tell ki with just 10% of the money, you are creating three times more impact for the company, you will get the promotions, you will get the accolades. But many people I see, they are just stuck up doing execution and they are happy with that because nobody is asking. So if you take an extra step to learn marketing analytics, that also helps you grow your career. And this is one thing I would say people should look at it. I have some blogs on the topic of marketing analytics, and if it is of interest, you guys can reach out to me. I will try to think about it and we can put in what is the analytics people should in retention marketing should learn. And then the final thing which I say is, which none of you mentioned is a skill is domain expertise. So as I said, 15 years से मैंने marketing CRM वगैरह किया. Tools became simpler, but domain change नहीं हुआ. People used to go and buy groceries earlier. अभी भी groceries खरीदते हैं. Channel अलग हो गया है. People used to buy credit cards. The way credit card functions, the way people do it, it's becoming the same. So domain expertise is timeless and it takes time to understand the nitty-gritties of customer, business, and all. And that does not come easy. So domain expertise is one thing should realize. Now, what does a domain expertise mean? Okay, domain expertise mean I am an expert in B2B FMCG CRM. I am an expert in fintech CRM. I am an expert in credit card retention analytics. I am an expert in insurance analytics, insurance retention marketing. Now that makes you much stronger. So think about three people are giving an interview, okay, for the same retention marketing job in say Tata AIA Life. One person comes from Zomato, one person comes from Policy Bazaar, one person comes from uh, say say Canva ka retention marketing. Which one has a higher chance of getting the job? They all have the same salaries and all. Policy Bazaar, right? Atul says Policy Bazaar. Now, there are multiple factors, but the most see, सबको tools आता है, सब कुछ आता है. Most of the tools are very similar, but learning domain takes the maximum time. So definitely recognize domain as your skill and keep trying to learn domain. And it takes a lot of time, but the good part is you can be an observer of the company and learn the domain as well. Okay, shall we move on? So tell me, yaar, which domain do you guys belong to? BFSI. Let's see what is the count. BFSI, D2C, D2C, e-commerce. EdTech. People who are writing D2C, D2C is not a domain. Okay, writing beauty is a domain. Say kids is a domain. Fashion is a domain. OTT is a domain. Health tech is a domain. Supplements is a domain. Yeah. So see, today people don't want to hire generalists at the end. Okay, they want to know have hire specialists, especially if they understand my business. क्योंकि दे से कि अच्छा तुम्हें अपना टूल वूल चलाना आता होगा, अब तुम्हें मेरा धंधा समझ में आता है नहीं आता. Because domain is where the real game lies. Because tools are becoming simpler and it will become simple more and more every day. Okay. The second is soft skills. Okay. So soft skills, is one very underrated tool. Okay. The first one with one underrated skill, and it is very big. When I say soft skills, everyone say मैंने presentation skill improve कर लिया, मैंने writing skill improve कर लिया. Now I use a lot of chat GPT. But to me, that is not soft skills. Soft skills का वो है बहुत core aspect है. One of the biggest soft skill I would say is understanding the marketing strategy and creating the plan and executing it. Now, you might say, I'm not the CMO, I'm not this, but see, you are an expert in retention marketing. You know what's happening. I'm sure most of the CMOs are not graduated or learned properly what is retention marketing, and they don't know that nuances of it. The best way is you coming out with ideas कि यार उन्होंने ये campaign किया था, उन्होंने ऐसे किया था, why don't we try these ideas? So ideation, influencing the market, people to try those strategies is where the crux lies, which is marketing strategy and planning. The second key is communicating your work and collaborating. Even if you're into retention marketing, your job is not alone. You have to talk to the creative person, you have to talk to the performance marketing person, you have to talk to the brand manager, you have to communicate and collaborate to get your campaign out. Can you run your campaign without any collaboration? And many times, what happens is you say, okay, send me a WhatsApp copy, some shitty WhatsApp copy will come, and then you will run, and the campaign performance is bad, and then it will be your responsibility. यार तुम्हारा WhatsApp campaign नहीं चला. But for us, we know, okay, these are the ways we have to write a good WhatsApp copy. This is the time we should send it. These are the things we should avoid it. So how do you make sure we put in the right elements to our adjacent teams and collaborate with them to get the entire thing out? So nothing can be done in isolation. People who are just saying कि मैं तो सिर्फ execution कर रहा हूँ, वो इसमें stuck हो जाते हैं because they are not able to communicate well and collaborate. The next thing, the third most important piece is data storytelling. Okay, now, you might say ki the brand managers are storytellers, okay, but we all are very good storytellers, have to be very good storytellers because if we are not talking about our work, somebody else will not recognize the impact. They'll say, यार CRM टीम करती क्या है, 5 लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, हमें क्यों चाहिए? परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग तो पूरी 2 लोगों से चल जाती है, इनको उड़ा दो. When there is a cost cutting, but I've seen when companies like I was in Lenskart, they really understood the impact of performance market retention marketing very well. Some of the brands like Amex, Zomato also understand CRM very well, so they know the value of it. But many of the brand people, many of the founders, they don't know because some people have grown up learning performance marketing, some people have grown up learning, uh, say, tech. They have some people understand affiliate very well. So for us, showing the impact of our retention marketing work on the ultimate revenue drives appreciation for us. Okay. Honestly, I realized this whole concept of data storytelling 12 years later in my career. Okay. Like today, I'm able to give a presentation. मुझसे ना ढंग से 2 मिनट नहीं बोला जाता था. I worked on my speech, I worked on my presentation skills, I attended some workshops and all. Uh, but trying is important. Okay, don't let others ramp up, matlab, run over with your credit. So this is a guy, I can, matlab, we can talk more about data storytelling, how you can do it better, but it's a very core skill. It starts by sharing your plan. It starts by saying how much impact did your work did. And the fourth final thing is personal branding. Okay, now personal branding is very key, not because you know just writing on LinkedIn some random post is not personal branding. Okay, personal branding is not about how many people you know, it is about how many people know you. Okay, let me repeat it. Personal branding is how many people know you as an expert of your area. Okay, for example, personal branding can be done by contributing to communities. Okay, many of you are writing and sharing your thoughts. मुझे नाम याद रह जाएंगे, हर्षित को नाम याद रह जाएंगे. In fact, me and Harshit were discussing about the session, and I asked him a simple question. If there is a new job which comes in, and somebody says कि यार मेरे को ना 2 दिन में fill करना है, can you give me some 2 3 names? There is a community of 200 300 people in this. The people who are interacting and adding lot of positive value to it will be the names he will remember, and he will say यार उसका नाम है ये देख लो. So, for example, some people who are again and again chatting in this are Raja, Akhil, and others also. So, वो नाम याद रह जाएंगे. So, expressing yourself, don't sit and think that जैसे there is a famous saying कि खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि खुदा तुझसे पूछे तेरी रजा क्या है. Definitely बुलंद करो, but don't be complacent. Okay. Every time you apply for a job, 1,000+ CVs are coming. Okay. How do you stand out is where the key lies. If you are applying or if somebody is reaching out, the equation is very different. And it also creates a reputation of yourself in your company. I started LinkedIn, I started doing LinkedIn about 3-4 years ago. Seriously, when my manager, like one of the founders of Lenscard said, कि यार तुम क्या करो अच्छा है. I saw your post, it is good. I said, why is it good? You might think I am looking for a job. He said, you will make our job easy to hire. You will make the brand more strong, and you will be a talent magnet. Okay, so how to create is something you guys can learn a lot. There are hundreds and thousands of courses. Don't fall in the cheat of कि these are the AI tools I can use to ramp up my LinkedIn. वो सब मत करना. But personal branding is superb key. And it's not only LinkedIn, it's also community, it's also contributing stuff. Now, the third final thing, decisions. Okay, hard skills हैं, soft skills हैं. What decisions do we take every day? The decisions we take every day are जॉब चेंज करना है, रोल चेंज करना है, ग्रोथ चाहिए. One funny thing in I'll tell you, okay, many people, change. What are the top three triggers to change a job? Do you know? Can you guys put it in the chat? नहीं, boss is not a trigger. बॉस के साथ लड़ाई इज अ ट्रिगर. ओके, आज बॉस ने डांट दिया, आई हैड अ फाइट विद द बॉस, शाम को जाके मैं naukri.com पे अप्लाई कर रहा. दैट इज वन ट्रिगर. So somebody wrote culture. Okay, so I was visiting some place and there was a girl who was from biggest one of the recently listed food delivery apps on stock exchange. So she was visiting Sikkim, I was also visiting Sikkim, so we were sharing a cab. तो वो कहती है कि हमारा कल्चर बड़ा अच्छा था. फिर थोड़ी देर बाद कहती है कल्चर का क्या लें, हमें निकाल दिया. आई लॉस्ट माई जॉब इन 1.5 years and they said you're too expensive. They said culture, you know, your if the business economics does not work well and you're firing people, culture is all an eyewash or culture is an hashtag. So the triggers for job change, according to me, is one, fight for with the job with your boss. The second, one of your friends getting a very good job. Okay, तो कहते हैं ना कि अगर दोस्त फेल हो जाए तो उतना दुख नहीं होता है जितना वो फर्स्ट आ जाए तो दुख होता है. So that is a big trigger for role change. And then the third is definitely appraisal. अभी appraisal season शुरू होगा. Is a trigger for job change. And I have made these mistakes, all of these mistakes. In the first 5 years, I changed 3 jobs. उसके बाद फिर मैंने थोड़ा कर लिया था कि अब बहुत हो गया. Because somebody told me कि सौरभ, think about that your career is a 35-year-old career. और CV का लेंथ 2 पेज से ज्यादा नहीं हो सकता. So think about how many companies you want to have on your CV. So I said technically तो 5-6 से ज्यादा हो नहीं सकते. तो ठीक है, तो assume करो 5 लाइफलाइन है आपकी. So if your CV cannot fit more than 5 jobs, how soon you want to exhaust your lifelines? And that hit me so hard कि मैंने अगर पहले 5 साल में 5 लाइफलाइन ले ली तो मैं कैसे, मतलब अपने आप को जस्टिफाई करूंगा. आई लेफ्ट दैट जॉब बिकॉज बॉस से लड़ाई हो गई थी. ये इसलिए हो गया था क्योंकि मेरे दोस्त की जॉब चेंज हो रही थी. ये हो गया था क्योंकि अप्रेजल खराब दिया था. वो उसमें चौथे में मुझे फायर कर दिया था. सो thinking little long term is very important, guys. Okay, changing jobs like changing clothes or fast fashion is not an easy thing. Use it like a lifeline. Now, to me, changing job is like changing a phone. Okay, now the way I look at it is changing phone is like you have to say buying an iPhone is easy. इतना budget है, ये वाला model fit होता है, खरीद लो. But buying an Android phone is very difficult. Okay, you have to, especially if you are buying between 20 to 30,000 K range में. You have to look at technical features, camera, battery, OS, service network, discount, price. It's a bloody hell of a thing. It'll take 2 to 3 days. And same thing deciding between jobs is, right? So tell me in the chat, what are the parameters you think you look at while deciding for a job? So assume you have three offers. Okay, बढ़िया offers हैं तीन. What are the parameters you will look at while deciding? Bhumika, fight with a job boss is a trigger to apply for a job. जॉब मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा वो डिपेंड करता है मार्केट कंडीशन पे. So the way I look at it is, you all are right, okay? So the way I look at it is number one, compensation. सब बोलते नहीं है पर सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है पैसा. कितना पैसा मिलेगा? 11 लाख रुपए मिलेगा, 12 लाख रुपए मिलेगा, 6 लाख रुपए मिलेगा? व्हाट इज द अमाउंट? सेकेंड इज लोकेशन. थर्ड इज रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. फोर्थ इज कंपनी क्रेडिबिलिटी. 7 करोड़. हर्षित. ज्यादा पैसा मिलना भी मुश्किल है ना. Then reporting manager, financial outlook, growth, and feedback from others. So generally people look at this 7, 8 parameters, but most of the people only look at first. In fact, I was talking to somebody who was changing a job because they were not happy with the company culture and boss and somebody, and they had a very good offer in the hand. And I said कि क्या ऑफर है? उसने बताया कि X रुपीस का मेरे पास ऑफर है. मैंने सेड अच्छा कंपनी करती क्या है? उसने कहा कंपनी का नाम ये है. मैंने कहा कंपनी करती क्या है? अच्छा, मैंने फिर नेक्स्ट आई आस्क्ड देम, ओके व्हाट इज द रेवेन्यू ऑफ दैट कंपनी? मैंने कहा पता नहीं. मैंने कहा अच्छा, कितना फंडिंग उठाया है? कहता पता नहीं. मैंने कहा अच्छा, ग्रोथ रेट क्या है? पता नहीं. मैंने कहा मैनेजर कौन है? पता नहीं. फिर सौरभ, मुझे बस ये कंपनी छोड़नी है. आई एम फेड अप विद दिस कंपनी. एंड दिस इज नॉट द फर्स्ट टाइम आई हैव हर्ड दिस. This happens with a lot of people. People change out of desperation because they have कि जैसे होता है ना, मुझे वॉशरूम लगी है, I have to go rush to the washroom. तो मुझे जॉब चेंज करनी है जल्दी से. So many people just use some trigger to change the job and then they take कि I have a job at hand. I don't care about others. In fact, at one point, I had an offer from Bharat Pay and Lenskart both. And Bharat Pay was offering me 25-30% more. I've told this story to many people. So, and the ESOPs were also like 5x than what I got at Lenskart. Somehow what I did is, I went to MCA. MCA is like Ministry of Corporate Affairs. वहां पे जाके ना उनका मैंने पूरा P&L फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट डाउनलोड किया. अब बनिया बुद्धि है तो लगाया अपना बनिया बुद्धि की, देखा कि रेवेन्यू कितना है. तो वहां पे समझ में अच्छा इनके पास, फिर देखा फंडिंग कितना उठाया है. फिर मैंने क्या किया, आई वेंट टू द मार्केट एंड आई सेड कि ओके लेट मी गो एंड टॉक टू 5-6 कस्टमर्स. जैसे ओके भारत पे का मैंने पूछा. कई लोग वो क्यूआर था. मैंने कहा अच्छा भारत पे पैसा कैसे कमाती है? कहते हैं वो लोन देते हैं कमाती है. तो मैंने कहा भारत पे से लोन लोगे? दुकानदार ने हंसा. कहता है देखो सर, वो देते हैं हमें 18% पे लोन. एसबीआई देता है मुझे 12% पे. तो जब तक ये मुझे सस्ते में देंगे तब तक मैं करूंगा, नहीं तो बैंक मुझे सस्ते में दे ही रहा है. एंड देन आई सेड कि इफ somebody is selling specs and 45-50% of people will need specs, okay, and they are good, affordable, hard thing है, ये soft thing है. तो इसे यार मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा, कुछ लोचा है. इवन दो द मनी इज मोर, फाइनेंशियल आउटलुक में मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा. एंड देन डेफिनेटली हाउ अश्नीर इज, आई वाज नॉट रियली getting a positive vibe. And this is before Shark Tank, 2 years before Shark Tank. In hindsight, for 1 year I thought कि यार मेरा ESOP ज्यादा होता, पैसा ज्यादा मिलता. But after everything what happened, I decided कि यार something happened good. So financial outlook, especially when you are going for startups, funded companies, is a very, very important thing. Okay. It's like somebody is also marketing to get you attracted. Okay. So think about it. If you are putting a brand in your CV, is that brand adding a positive value to you or is it adding a negative value? Okay. There are a lot of brands who get killed. जैसे मतलब बहुत सारे ब्रांड साफ हो गए. मतलब many people talk about blue smart. Think about blue smart के employee. Somebody might say वो लोग यही बात करेंगे, अरे वो fraud हो गया, ये हो गया, आपको पता था, मतलब discussion कहीं का कहीं चले जाएगा आपका. So my biggest learning in decisions, is people spend too much time doing and not thinking enough what they should be doing. Okay. And they say कि यार मैंने तो रिजाइन कर दिया है, मेरे पास जॉब ऑफर है, मेरे को शायद फिर कभी ना मिले जॉब ऑफर. इनफैक्ट गाइस, we spend too much time deciding a phone. We spend very less time deciding which company to join. And we just go for the company we want. कि ये मिल गया है, बस निकलो यहाँ से. Please be thousand times conscious about it, because I have spoken to so many people who regretted leaving their previous company. And in fact, I have also regretted leaving two, three companies when I made these stupid decisions in the beginning of my career, because I was driven by my triggers. So if some trigger is driving you, please note it. That trigger could be a fight with the job boss or some of those things which we talk. Does it make sense, guys? Have you been ever driven by a trigger? Because there can be positive triggers, okay? See, I am getting bored with this. I want to really add more value. I want to learn. So पॉजिटिव ट्रिगर इज, जैसे मुझे था कि मुझे ना इंडियन मार्केट में काम करना है, बिकॉज इंडिया में डेटा बहुत है, यूएस कंपनी के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ, मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा कि यूएस का कस्टमर क्या है. सो माई ट्रिगर वॉज दैट आई वांट टू बी पार्ट ऑफ द इंडिया डेटा स्टोरी. To me, that's a positive trigger because that is adding value. A negative trigger is कि my company is toxic, my this is this, आज बहुत से लड़ाई हो गई, salary increment नहीं, ये सब negative trigger है, because in a career of 30-35 years ये सब भूल जाओगे आप. So deciding on roles, what I would say is also look at other aspects of marketing beyond retention, which is key. Now, career paths from retention marketing, it's not that your life is retention marketing. आपको retention marketing में retain नहीं होना है. Retention marketing में the first biggest area you can circle around is different types of digital marketing. Easiest on retention marketing to go is on SEO, because it's also equally data driven. Okay, मतलब retention is not so much on content, so you can go into retention to affiliate is very easy, retention to organic, and you can take additional responsibilities. And retention to performance also can be done. Retention to branding is totally north south, because वो थोड़ा सा मतलब that's heavy on content creative, copywriting, shoots. So if you like that, you can go there, but you can go into these associated areas. Okay. The second is many people I've seen have gone into product management also, and product management people also have come to retention marketing. But product management is also a good one, because if you love creating app features and other things around it, कि app का feature बनाना है, customer engagement and all those you can do. The third area is customer experience, because see what happens is, as I told you, customer retention marketing is a subset of customer relationship management. So many people I've seen have gone into the broader aspect of customer relationship management and taking the entire customer value chain, NPS, call center, inbound, outbound, वो सब में चले गए. Especially for companies who are into high value stuff and who are doing assisted sales. And then finally, the fourth area of career is what I've seen is people trying analytics, because this, matlab, they might do a bridge course in analytics and go for it, or they really find themselves very good with data. So that's another area to take a segue into analytics. Okay. So three things: hard skills, soft skills, and decisions. Decisions is where the game changes. Hard skills many people acquire. Soft skill is where people forget about the focus. Great. So I'll take a 5-second breather while you answer this thing. What is one hard skill and one soft skills you're looking to focus in 2025? Harshit says soft skills, project execution, project management. Prachi Vora says analytics tools, presentation skills. Shantanu says soft skills, attribution, data storytelling. Great, great guys. Cool. So with this, let's get into career mistakes people make. Okay, my favorite session. So I'll cover a lot of things very quickly. Okay. So yesterday I was interviewing somebody, you know, and we spoke to him about ये स्किल वो स्किल हार्ड स्किल्स सारा इंटरव्यू किया उसने अच्छे से किया देन वी आस्क्ड हिम वन थिंग ओके व्हाट डू यू नो अबाउट आवर कंपनी एंड ही स्टार्टेड ब्लैबरिंग ठीक है कुछ नहीं पता था उसको सो टुडे व्हाट हैपेंस इज पीपल आर नॉट लुकिंग एट पीपल जस्ट ऑन स्किल्स ओके नाउ look at another example okay say somebody is hiring for Lenskart and then he analyzes the retention marketing strategy as a customer and then he comes back and says he I saw I am being a big fan of your brand, but I think so you can do much better in attention marketing. You have gaps in your WhatsApp flows. You can do better at SMS. Your push notifications had this problem. Blah blah blah. Whom do you think will have a higher chance? The person who has understood the brand and coming out, or the person who has just focused on the skill part? In fact, I see many people create jobs because they are able to address this thing. For example, this is a hack I can give you. Say, for example, you realize that a brand which you love does not do a good job of retention marketing. Okay, you go and search on LinkedIn. They don't have a retention marketing manager also. You go and write to the founder, DMM. Yeah, I have been a big fan of your brand, and I think so. You can reach out to your customers more to drive repeat rates. And these are three ways you can do it. If this is of interest to you, I can offer you free advice in this and take a 30-minute or 1 hour session. I'm sure the founder will respond to you and give you time. If you try with 3, 5 people, they will be happy to do. It's much better strategy than saying, I am looking for a job. Here is my CV. I have 7 years of experience in this and that. If you are a problem solver or you're just marketing yourself. Okay. So understanding the brand is very key. Hardik really said, show and tell. The second problem which I see many people is, is what happened with one of my friends. Okay, he is a Jain and he joined one of the companies like Licious. ठीक है अब Licious non-veg non-veg बेचती है ठीक है and he always used to see a non-veg का photo वगैरह and he never liked it. He was not into retention marketing but he was not even bought into the concept of this and he was having hard time and struggling with it because वो अपना value system है समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि ये क्या बेच रहे हैं and you don't like the product, you're not a consumer of a product. So later on, because of some changes, he lost his job and he was very happy. He was very happy because he was out of the stress. With one of my other friends, he had joined a company called Diageo. He was a party sardar. पार्टी सरदार होते हैं ना जो लोग बिल्कुल ही प्योर मतलब वो जैन ही होते हैं जैन टाइप्स होते हैं मतलब दे डोंट ईट नॉन वेज तो उधर भी यही था एंड ही यूज्ड टू गो इनटू द प्लांट एंड ऑल उसको स्मेल बर्दाश्त नहीं होती थी अब जब जॉब चाहिए थी तब तो मिल गया क्योंकि 40% राइस मिल रहा था ही वॉज वेरी हैप्पी बट जब अंदर गया तब रोज की प्रॉब्लम similarly one of the friends he was also very spiritual he ended up into some gaming company so what I'm saying is if you don't believe the brand, at least as a consumer, you will have these problems on a huge fight with yourself. So always look at brands which are aligned with your personal self because it will make you more at peace. Yes, you might earn lesser money. I think so, but that's okay rather than getting impacted every day. And generally, it happens with some of these things where, say, gambling, liquor, say where people are doing some hanky panky stuff in their business model. तो वो चीजें आप देख लेना कि are you try मतलब today it's easy to be a customer of the product, okay, uh, and trying to be a customer and seeing how you can be very good at it. The third mistake I see is people, a lot of people join a leader because he pulled you in, and then the leader leaves. Like in this, I joined this brand because of Saurabh, but by the time I joined, he himself left. Now I am lost. Uh, ठीक है, and I feel cheated. So हो सकता है your leader left because of some other reason. His intent was not to cheat you. So don't blame the person. At the end, the decision is yours. Why you joined and why own it up. So you should marry the brand, leader, and the purpose. अगर एक भी खराब होता है तो then you are at it's okay. So I generally don't go after the people aspect more. That people say कि I join managers, but I don't believe in managers more because क्योंकि manager भी एक person है और वो भी 2-2 साल में job change कर रहा है. So to me today with the economic scenario, the business viability of the company is more important to me because that will at least give you a safe job. The fourth issue which I see many people, they just say कि मैंने 25 campaign run कर दिया, 50 campaigns I have run, 100 campaigns I have run. That is my contribution. So guys, just contributing as an executionist will not take you beyond a point. Okay, you have to communicate your impact. Okay, so it's high time we all realize it. We have to prove our worth every year. And the other piece is with the level of automation happening, if you're contributing 100 campaigns in a year, just to maintain the same salary level, you have to contribute 150 to the next year because automation is making things easier, cheaper, faster, better. And somebody else is ready to take your job at 30% lesser money. So we better roll up our sleeves and do more and add value and demonstrate value. The next I see is, applying jobs by resume is almost dead. Okay. Yes, you need a resume, but LinkedIn is where you get discovered. Okay. I'm not sure there are 1.2 billion people monthly active on LinkedIn, and in India itself, there are about 300 million people, which means 30 crore. So everybody who has a job is active on LinkedIn. Your boss is active on LinkedIn, your boss's boss is active on LinkedIn, you are active on LinkedIn, your peers are active on LinkedIn. Every time I get a CV ना मैं LinkedIn का link ढूंढता हूँ, click करता हूँ और देखता हूँ. So in a CV you can have maximum 1 or 2 pages. You can create 20 pages, but कोई पढ़ेगा नहीं. But LinkedIn में फायदा क्या होता है कि you can stuff up almost 30 pages of a resume into it because it is so well structured. Somebody who has a clear photo, you have the purpose, you have the jobs you are having, you have the testimonials. In fact, once it happened with me that the person's LinkedIn said that he is a Java developer, whereas he was a Python analytics developer, whereas his CV said that he was a uh, नहीं, उल्टा था, sorry. LinkedIn said he was a Python web developer and CV said he was a analytics Python developer. Obviously, you don't lie on public platforms because everyone is watching. So your CV is live on LinkedIn. So try to be very clear with it and be little bit active. And I would say, look beyond retention marketing. Life is not all retention marketing. Retention marketing is a skill and career you should master. Add up different things. If you are aspiring to go 6-7 levels above, अगर आपको retention marketing में 20 साल निकालना है तो ठीक है, मतलब it's great. But then go into a company which has a 100-member retention marketing team where you can become a VP of retention marketing or somebody. But if you want to be in startups, then retention marketing is a 1 or 2 member role. The next is, experimental mindset is very key. Okay. Many companies, say कि यही campaign चला रहे हैं, चल रहा है. तो आई वुड से सेल्फ डिसरप्ट योरसेल्फ कि यार चलो कुछ एबी टेस्टिंग करते हैं, कुछ कंट्रोल ग्रुप टेस्टिंग करते हैं, कोई नया फीचर ट्राई करते हैं, वेब एंगेज ने या नया फीचर निकाला है, लेट्स ट्राई इट, लेट्स डू समथिंग, आरसीएस आया, ट्राई करते हैं. तो ट्राई 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 बिकॉज यू माइट अनकवर समथिंग एंड स्पेशली व्हेन न्यू फीचर्स आर लॉन्च्ड यू गेट अ वन प्लस एडवांटेज. Okay, not the OnePlus phone. Like when WhatsApp marketing came in, I was the second brand in India at Lenskart to try it. Okay, and we got very good response rates, and the company also helped us with some additional offers and lot of support. So we got a little bit kickstart with it. Being productive, I don't need to say it. We all need to get 10x productive using AI tools, and I'm sure you guys are also using it. But really become it. I have seen my productivity going 100x because of these things. कि लेटे लेटे मैं डॉक्यूमेंट बना लेता हूँ, ऐप बना लेता हूँ. So be lazy and be productive. Just don't be lazy. Okay, being lazy will a lazy guy will find out easy way of doing things, but lazy with being productive guys are the ones who will innovate maximum. One last thing, I know we are running late and definitely want to open up questions. Many people, get networking totally wrong. Okay. So networking is not about extracting value. Many people say कि मैं network कर रहा हूँ and I get hundreds of DMs. Saurabh, I saw you on this group. I am wanting for this job. Uh, I want to apply for this thing. Can you help me find a job? तो लोग क्या करते हैं बस they are wanting to extract value from the network. A good network is built by contributing value. What it means is you contribute value into it. There's this famous story by Akbar Birbal. So I'll take a minute to tell you. So Birbal said कि हमारे ना सारे लोग आगरा में they are all very selfish. He said नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. Said let's run an experiment. They were also experimental mindset guys. Said let's what do we do? Let's cover a big jar with a white cloth and ask everyone to pour milk into it on a full moon night. So everyone came and then they poured stuff. And in the morning, when they removed it, it was all water. You know why? Everyone thought दूसरे तो milk डालेंगे मैं पानी डाल देता हूँ. एंड में networking में यही होता है. Everyone wants to contribute water but extract milk. And it is again like a community. Okay, there will be people who are adding value. People who add value are the ones who really get value from the network. So think about it. The golden rule is, so Saurabh will be able to help you if you have helped Saurabh 3 times. Or if you have helped 3 people, you will be able to get help from one person. So always try to extract value in that order. कि 3 लोगों को help करो, एक से शायद help मिल सकती है. मिल गई तो भी bonus है. But reputation जरूर build होगी. Because at the end, reputation is where you will crack excellent jobs. Excellent jobs are not applied. Excellent jobs are recommended, and people will call 15 people to know, do you know this guy? Do you know that guy? Multiple times. So please don't burn your bridges. Don't burn your bridges with your friends. Don't burn your bridges with your managers. Don't take fights with your वो. Don't think that मैं तो कर लूंगा मुझे तो वेब एंगेज आता है. Knowing just the tool is not thing. And final thing, what I feel is we give too much importance to salary and money. You know, at the end, there is this very good book by Naval Ravikant. He talks about, you don't build wealth by salary. Okay, you build wealth by owning a piece of the output you create, which means owning a piece of output you create is, for example, you might have heard that story कि Infosys के किसी ड्राइवर ने 10 करोड़ 100 करोड़ बना लिए, जोमेटो के एम्प्लॉयज ने इतने पैसे बना लिए, फ्लिपकार्ट के एम्प्लॉयज ने इतने पैसे बना लिए इक्विटी. But these guys joined when nobody was ready to join Zomato. They took huge salary cuts to join. Okay, Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Yeah. So if you are those able to identify those early golden goose, but if you again are stuck up in कि मैं तो 40% rise लूंगा ये लूंगा, so people will give you equity who are ready to come at a very good discount. But many people also make a mistake of understanding ESOP plans and all. If somebody has that, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to uncover what are the myths to know what's a good ESOP plan, what's a bad ESOP plan. But having an equity component or having a bonus component which is more trustable is key. It's okay that you don't make good salary, but you should at the end unlock good wealth. One other piece, I know these are like bonus points. Another thing which I see is, many people just say कि यार I want to do something good, so job change कर लेते हैं. Trust me, if you're looking for a role change, if you're looking for a diversification, your existing company will be easier to give you that rather than other one. Okay. A new one will not give you another role. Okay. They will not tell you, okay, try other stuff. So this is the last one which I will put in. And final thing which I would say is mentors are very important. Okay. Now, what happens is we all get career advice from our friends and family or people in the office कि यार job change करनी है या तेरे को job कहाँ से मिला है और ये वो. So to me, all those people are good to give you that kandha. I don't know for what kandha they will give you, but I never find good advice coming out from people at the same level. So find out good work mentors who have been like 5, 6 years more experienced than you and who are really neutral to you. So work mentorship and industry mentorship is very key. So to sum up the session, once one person asked me, Saurabh, how can I achieve the success you had in half the time? So I would say these are the four things, learn, give huge importance to domain because it is timeless, and strategy, which is also timeless. Analytics in AI is what will key. Third is communication and storytelling is very, very important to shine out. And fourth is mentors will be your guiding north stars for you. Friends are good to give party, take party, and get jealous. Okay, but I'm not sure will they be great mentors. I'm really not sure. So before I close, many people start their resumes. I have 10 years of experience. I have 12 years of experience. I have 20 years of experience. Nobody today wants to hire anyone more than 10 years of experience. So everyone wants to hire anywhere between 3 to 10 years of experience. उसके बाद सब अंकल हो गए हैं. ठीक है. So if you ever write your CV or your LinkedIn profile, I have 7 years of experience, 10 years of experience, it does not matter. What matters is what are the experiences you have every year and what is the value you will add. So I'm sure I've given you huge food for thought, guys.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. I think this is a very, very engaging session. Like the chat was lit all through. People, please, okay, we already have some questions. Oh no, those answer. People, if you have some questions, you can drop it in the chat or in the Q&A.
Yeah, so Q&A में आप वो डाल दो, chat में आप ये डाल दो. What is one thing you took back from the session? ठीक है? I'll open up the Q&A and just see. What is the ideal time in a company before you can switch? ठीक है, so I'll give you an example, okay? Have you heard about N. Chandrasekhar, जो अब Tata Group का chairman है? He joined TCS as an intern. At one time, he became the CEO of TCS. Now he's become the group chairman. ठीक है. So there is no less time, more time. Changing jobs is not an achievement, guys. Deepan is saying, is it really the trend that mid managers are in a soup right now in the job market? See, yes, it is, and it is always. ठीक है. But I would say people always need effective people, and I'm sure it happens with everyone. We say that India has what 20, 30 crore people ready for jobs to go in, but it's always a difficult thing to find the right person. Depend with us, sorry. Yeah. So people are always looking for good talent. So there is always a scarcity of very good talent, and there is always a job threat for everyone.
Yeah. I think I'm so constantly looking for places like wherever I feel like, okay, this is getting redundant before somebody else points out
Disrupt yourself before somebody disrupts you.
that one, that one. Yeah.
So guys, I have a newsletter also. I'll just put it in the chat, which I talk about marketing analytics, retention marketing, and all. So you guys can check it out and subscribe if you're interested. तो जितना मुझे आता है मैं सीखता हूँ मैं लिख देता हूँ. So blogging is also a way of expressing and communicating and building authority. So yeah, many people have been reading my blogs, and interestingly, after 4 months, 5 months, people come back and said, "Yeah, I read your blog." In fact, I was in a client meeting, and it was a boardroom. 6 people had read different blogs, and they said, "हम आपका ना न्यूज़लेटर फॉलो करते हैं." मैंने कहा, "अच्छा, कौन सा करते हो?" मैंने कहा, "ऐसे ही बोलने के लिए बोल रहे होंगे." तो एक ने बोला, "हमने आपका नॉर्थ स्टार मेट्रिक वाला पढ़ा था." दूसरे ने कहा, "हमने आपका वो रिटेंशन मार्केटिंग का वाला पढ़ा था। हमने व्हाट्सएप मार्केटिंग बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस पढ़ा था." तो मैंने कहा, यार, अच्छा है, किसी मतलब देयर इज एन ऑडियंस फॉर एवरीथिंग. सो
Hmm.
writing content, don't think that who will read it. Write it for yourselves to document it also. Many of the posts which I do, I said कि मैंने कुछ सीखा है उसकी document करके मैं डाल देता हूँ. So it's my repository of writing it. So
Uh,
don't write it for others, write it for yourself. It also helps. How do you research for a company before you go for an interview? ठीक है. Go to ChatGPT, write, I am going for an interview with ABC company. Tell me what all I should know to know about it. This is the manager of it. Tell me what does he like, not like. Tell me 15 things I should know. This is the easiest you can know in 30 seconds. यार आज की डेट में इतने टूल्स है ना, यू कैन नो एवरीथिंग अबाउट इट. यू जस्ट नीड टू नो व्हाट यू नीड टू नो.
hmm.
जस्ट हैव टू हैव अ क्यूरियोसिटी.
Hmm.
हाउ टू कंट्रीब्यूट ऑन लिंक्डइन. ठीक है, ये इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक है. देयर आर 4 ways यू कंट्रीब्यूट ऑन लिंक्डइन. ठीक है, वन इज यू कंज्यूम लिंक्डइन by reading the post. Then that way you contribute an impression. ठीक है, you don't contribute anything, वो impression चले जाता है. The second is you contribute an engagement, which is your like, subscribe, share जो भी है. The third is you contributed by a very thoughtful comment, not those shitty comment. Great post, thank you very much, love reading it. वो सब shitty comments है. You said, I agree with you on this, and this is what I also love. Somebody's written a post on this. Thank you for sharing this. I would definitely buy the book. Oh, okay, look, reading your post, I bought the book and I read like this. You add a value to it and you get noticed. Then
Hmm.
is you write your thoughts कि today I attended a session with Saurabh and this is what I learned. ये भी कर सकते हो.
ये अच्छा वाला लगा.
ये
I
अच्छा
think
वाला लग रहा है. ठीक है, तो चलो मैं आप लोगों को एक चैलेंज देता हूँ. देखते हैं people who want to contribute. This is the post I did on LinkedIn where I posted about the session I'm doing. So you guys can comment, and if you want to share feedback, put it on that post.
yeah, it's a good one. I think there is one, two more questions.
Which one you want me to put?
एक तो I think वो tricky employer वाला is also interesting.
क्या
Tricky.
है? Yeah. Do you need to be good at acquisition or just be good at retention? So first, definitely be good at retention, and then you can learn acquisition. See, कोई रोक नहीं रहा आपको. You can be good at retention, you can be good at copywriting, but once you have mastered one thing, then go to the another skill, another skill, another skill. Retention, acquisition, repeat, engagement, multiple things. है. You keep picking on things and mastering it. Or do you need to be? ये हो गया. For a generalist who has not spent any time in retention, no hands-on experience on tools, but loves CX and service design, how shall I test waters before moving full time? So one is, I'm not sure what is your experience level, Hardik, but you can do internships. Okay, definitely go and learn tools. Tools कोई complicated नहीं है ये coding जैसा नहीं है. You can join different academies. ये जो होता है जैसे Web Engage का academy, सबका कोई ना कोई free tool academy होता है. You can learn it. Second is offer free help, or you can also do a customer perspective. I have done this a lot. You tear down जो हमारा एक वो चल नहीं रहा है कि you take a brand, you tear down their strategy, whatever you like, don't like, or do a competition analysis. You can do it. If I put papers due to trigger to manage of my manager, but I'm seeing this brand a lot of good problems to solve. Now I'm confused. Raja, let's take it one on one.
Add me to the call.
Huh? Raja and I go long back.
Yeah. Awesome. I think a bunch of questions have been answered. I'm sure more will keep coming. But just to be mindful of everybody's time that we blocked, I think we can wrap it up for right now. And whatever questions people have uh, on the community is open. We'll also probably share some of these learnings consolidated over there. Saurav, you think we're good to close? We can take the other questions offline.
Yeah, yeah. We can take the other questions offline. No worries. Anyone who wants to reach out, definitely ping me on LinkedIn. Happy to help. I am also available on TopMate. So, yeah,
Awesome.
great. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining in. I do see there are some questions unanswered, but some of them, I think, once you go back and look at the presentation from today, we'll probably share a recording with those who attended just to sort of recap. So, some of them will, I think, just another listening of this will help answer those. And for the rest, sort of via TopMate, via LinkedIn, and on the community. Have a great weekend. And thank you so much, Saurabh. Thank you for hosting this. Clearly very engaging and clearly very insightful.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great
Have a
weekend.
nice day.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna end the webinar for all.